The full moon phase of 3i Atlas is here. What does that mean, guys? And why does this matter so much? So something extraordinary is happening in the sky right now, but you won't see it with the unaided eye, we have to say. It's not a traditional full moon. It's something far stranger and far more mysterious. Wouldn't it be mysterious if it wasn't 3i Atlas, right? So many mysteries. Interstellar Object 3i Atlas will enter a rare full moon phase as seen from the Earth. It's aligning in one line, and we talked about this, but this event could reveal secrets about its nature that have puzzled astronomers for months. So that is really interesting. So what are we watching? Let's set the stage for 3i Atlas. So astronomy over the past years has already been, we can even say, electrified by interstellar objects that came from outside our solar system and then passed through it. We first had Oumuamua, surprised scientists in 2017. Second one, 2i Borisov, showed classic comet behavior in 2019. And now we have the third interstellar object 3i Atlas that breaks physics, that does anything that a normal comet does not do. We're close to 20 anomalies and nobody can explain them. NASA says it's a comet. The CIA says classified. We can't tell you what it is. So 3i Atlas was discovered in July 2025 by the Atlas survey. That's where the name comes from. Has been tracked ever since. It's moving on a hyperbolic trajectory, meaning it will not stay in our solar system. Currently, it's on the way to Jupiter, which is already strange enough, right? But if everything goes normal, it's just passing through. But what makes 3i Atlas so captivating to everyone and the public like us as well? It's the unusual behavior and all these anomalies, all these weird features. So what does a full moon phase for 3i Atlas mean, guys? So astronomers, when they use the term like full moon and like new moon, they describe the way the moon is illuminated from Earth. And now maybe you're understanding what I'm hinting at. This time it's not the moon that is illuminated. So normally we think of these as phases of our natural setting, right? But these same geometric principle apply to other objects too. In our case, to interstellar object 3i Atlas. So today, the Earth and the Sun are aligning with 3i Atlas on one line, so that 3i Atlas is nearly directly opposite the Sun from Earth's perspective. So in technical terms, the misalignment angle will be less than 0.69 degrees. So this means sunlight will be reflecting off of 3i Atlas towards the Earth in the most direct way possible. It's similar to how a full moon looks brightest in our sky. And that is, of course, highly interesting for anyone who wants to observe 3i Atlas and find out what it really is. So the result of this alignment of Atlas's full moon, 3i Atlas will appear as bright as it gets from our vantage point. The dust and the gas, which is mysterious, which we want to know more about, and the structures that surround it will be illuminated in ways that aren't normally visible. And that's the most exciting part. So if we have observers with sufficiently powerful telescope, all of them have a rare chance to see 3i Atlas in full brightness right now. And this is not something that happens often, especially with an interstellar visitor. So that's another anomaly. Why is it aligning like that? Why is this alignment so important? Why does it matter scientifically, guys? That's another question that of course comes to mind. Because if an interstellar object like 3i Atlas is aligned in this special way, astronomers can call it like a solar opposition. We can collect important data, and that's what we want to do, right? Okay, the brightness surge that 3I Atlas is showing at. What's going on? The way light floods 3I Atlas and its surrounding dust cloud can tell us about the size, the composition, and the reflectivity of those particles. So it helps us and the scientists to constrain physical models of the object. And that's what we urgently want to do. And well, point number 2, let's talk about this mysterious, prominent, huge anti-tail. What about the anti-tail visibility during full moon? 3I Atlas, we know, has been observed to have this strange anti-tail material that appears to extend towards the sun rather than away from it like a normal comet would do. So because of this unusual geometry, the anti-tail may best seen right now at this alignment, and this is crucial. But also another point that is highly important, polarization and the light properties. If we have light reflecting off the dust grains, it can be polarized, meaning the direction of the light waves becomes oriented. So measurements of polarization reveal clues about the grain structure and the composition that we're so curious about, right? How can it have this long tail? Must have a different grain structure or something. So during this full phase alignment, the polarization signature can be especially informative right now. So we're still hoping that these effects could help resolve, not all probably, but maybe some of the anomalies that scientists have noticed in 3I Atlas. What are the anomalies? Well, let's not talk about all of them, but let's be clear, there is no consensus that 3I Atlas is one way or the other, just a natural object or something else from space. Most astronomers, they say it's a comet, but we have to say, however, these observations show that the features, the anomalies, are unusual enough to demand a deeper study. The jets, the geometry we talked about in my last videos, the structures in the coma that just don't match simple comet models. They just don't. We have a light curve pulse that some say is the heartbeat, like the brightness fluctuation, large anti-tail that defies typical comet expectations. And we've heard so much from Avi Loeb and other researchers. They have pointed out these anomalies, and they have argued that they warrant a very careful and thorough observation without prematurely ruling out possibilities. But it seems all the official entities, they're doing this. They're ruling out. NASA said it's a comet case closed in mid-November basically already, right? Watch my CIA video about 3I Atlas. That doesn't match somehow the letter that the CIA released. But many experts remain cautious and emphasize that we need more explanation. We need to find out more. But right now, it gives telescopes on Earth and in space the best possible view to test possible natural explanations that we still hope we find, right? So anyone who has a telescope well enough to do some observations, they should target 3I Atlas right now during the hours around opposition. Collect the data of brightness and polarization, compare images from before and after alignment to isolate changes to find them. Watch for structural details in the anti-tail that might show dust particle distribution. This alignment is so rare. This is a unique chance. Data that are collected during this window could significantly refine models of how 3I Atlas interacts with sunlight and solar wind, and possibly settle a few questions about its nature. But I want to make clear, we can see it with our own eyes. We need a telescope. 3I Atlas, from our point of view, is far too small and faint to be visible by the naked eye, even at this peak brightness. So sorry guys, we can't do that. So we are eagerly waiting whether 3I Atlas turns out to be a classic comet or something more complex, right? Let's pay attention. I'll be on the pulse of this for you guys, so stay with me. I will release an update very, very soon. And in the meantime, there's so much else going on, crazy things all around the world. Maybe you want to click one of these videos, and please don't forget to like and hype this video. Bye bye guys.